Okay, first and foremost, I want to give all the honors, the praises, and the glory belongs to my Lord and Savior. His name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Wahavaka Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahawashi, and who I reverence and honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit and to the hopeful elect across the globe and to the few, very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning in the hopes of being saved within these last days, because we are living in the last days of the last days. I want to do this testimony. I haven't got much data, right? Because I need to erase data. This testimony has to be done. I was contemplating it for a little while, but then I thought, no. Brothers and sisters need to know. You know, I've done several videos on monitoring spirits, witchcraft. I think this is the right time. Seeing we're in a very dark period as well, right? Halloween. You can hear the fireworks, bonfire night. I really want to go into this. This is going to be called testimony, my testimony of basically a witchcraft attack and how it happened. You know, when we pray to Yahweh by Sham Yahawashi for answers, he gives us answers. He gives us clarity of mind. Lord, when it's going to be edifying, I want to get all the main points, all the main topics. I've always said in my lessons, right? It doesn't, as long as you're prayed up, that stuff doesn't work. I've never said it doesn't work. It works against those that are not covered, or those that are not praying, or those that may have a door open, the particular door. But this is the testimony. So we're gonna start off, baby. Let's start off. Let's start off with this. Bear me just a minute. Start off in Ephesians, right? Verse 6, and I'm sure you know what I'm gonna go into, right? Scripture says, "For we wrestle not against flesh. Put on the whole armor of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and forces of darkness in high places." Okay, so we acknowledge, right, these are dark forces. The spirit of witchcraft, that's a dark force, right? This started about a year, I would say, from now, from this lesson time on, what the date we're in today. I would say it started about a year now, and it's been a year and a half, or a little bit more longer than a year and a half. I'll say year and a half. Okay, and it was when a certain family member was over. Okay, not that I want to, tell you too much. Certain family member was over. I remember I was doing my videos like usual, right? It was 6 months in, right? But there was a feeling, right, of tiredness. I was still doing my videos, but one thing, I wasn't going now as much, because remember, a family member was over as well, right? And there was a lot of things. This was summer. This was last summer, basically last summer, right? There was a lot of not this summer, last summer before that, right? I've noticed certain things. There was a dark energy. There's so many different things. There was flies, right? There was a lot of flies in the house. I noticed there was a lot of tape. So that was a sign right there. What else? Sleeping was bad. I was worrying or not. There was a lot of coughing. Right? All these things I did notice. It's not that I did not notice it, but I felt like then I was doing videos, but these videos were just indoors, most of them, and I think, hold on, something ain't right here. So there was fear. I was being overtaken by fear, and the devil loves fear, right? I didn't want to go out, or if I did go out, it wouldn't be for that long. And if I did go out, I'll go to the field. Then when I would go to the field, right, I would notice there was people, right, that would be circling, right, walking around you, right? And I was still doing videos up on it, but I didn't quite notice the extent. Then it felt like anytime I was doing something, right, I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. Then you kind of notice people start to when you're there, they're there, synchronizing. You know what that's called in the spiritual? Do you know what that's called? That's called witchcraft. That's called It's called witchcraft. That's what it's called. Okay. So I felt like I was in a loop. Like something was wrong. Right? Long story short, few arguments with so and so. I'm not going to give out the names and so forth. I was binding these spirits. Particular family members were over. I was binding spirits, right? I did bind them, right? And there was a lot of screaming, and I heard, "Oh no!" And how would you know if there's signs of demonic possession? You know, if you have a woman, right, and a woman, she has a deep voice. Her voice ain't naturally deep. That is signs of demonic possession. Okay? If a woman's voice sounds deep. Okay? Now with a man, if a man's voice sounds low, screechy, that's signs of demonic possession. So all these things I was noticing, but I didn't notice the extent. Something nearly happened to me. I was nearly beguiled because it did have an effect. I felt lazy. I felt lethargic. I was very fearful. I started sleeping downstairs. And the next thing now, I started to notice during the house, demonic activity, right, through the walls. I heard fuzzing. I heard buzzing. And now I know what it is because we've done lessons now. Now we become more equipped. Yeah, that was called electronic magnetic fields. And now witches, right, they can also use that. You do know a TV, a phone is also used as a portal. So a witch and warlocks can also try to communicate you through portals. And now there was times I was going out, but it wasn't as much. So when I would catch the bus now, I'd be on the bus. And I would notice the bus would stop at every single stop and people would jump on, right? Just demons. You would have Japanese people, you would have New Agers, and I noticed a lot of New Agers as well. So these things I started to notice, right? And I was like, oh, what's going on here? Then things started to become more clear. This happened for about how long? From the moment this family member came and she left. So it was about a year now. And these things started to increase. Now, I start going back out, right? Okay, I start going back out, right? Shake off that spirit of fear. But by this time, I noticed certain things are going on, right? Certain things are going on. I'm having demonic giggles. I'm having a lot of screaming. A lot of things were going on. And we're going to let the scriptures come out. Sorry, I know it sounds like it's all over the place, but just a lot has been happening, and I want to share this testimony, right? When I notice a lot of people, right, start, as soon as I leave the house, they would be there immediately. So then I came to the conclusion, okay, they're trying to synchronize now. And they started to put cameras, devices. These are all forms of witchcraft and manipulation. And I know it's gaslighting, right? Certain doors, you open a door, they close the door. This is all forms of gaslighting. And when you confront them, oh no, that wasn't there. Did I really? That's forms of witchcraft. Gaslighting is the highest form. I would notice cars would be parked one place, then they would park the cars other places. And this is basically where I'm living, in my community. So then I came to the conclusion, okay, so your neighbors are in on it as well. So they were trying to put witchcraft upon you. So when I clocked these things now, things started to change. Got more into prayer, got more into fasting, started going out more. Remember, there was a slight spirit of fear. I never stopped teaching. There was a slight spirit of fear, right? Because all these things were coming at me, and it got worse. You know why it got worse? Because demons feed on fear, and these witches, these warlocks, these lost souls, right? They feed upon that. So they must have amped it up when that started to happen, right? All these this was, I'm talking about not last summer, the summer before. All these things were happening when my family members came over. When and And next thing, and I know it's all about control. Then long story short, the internet connection got changed, right? And these individuals that came to the house, they were in on it as well, right? When they went straight next door, right, and say, oh, you need yours done too, right? So there's a lot of things going on, right? That I was able to see, luckily, through discernment. And basically, it was witchcraft. Then I started going to the store. People started to act funny because they were told to do that. So obviously, something somewhere was working. I'm going to go into that word spell. I got the dictionary. It was just about, but I quickly snapped out of it. This is why you need the scriptures. This is why it says put on the whole armor, right? I haven't finished yet. I want to go to that word spell. Spell. Words used as a charm. So people can also do spell work by words as well, by using words, right? And oh yeah, and they tried that as well. By that time, what was it? The useless thing, useless. Yeah, bro, that's spell work. But that didn't last for too. That didn't last for too long. That didn't last for too long. You fucking witches. Bro, it's beautiful now because the same people that were doing these things, I always say, now look at them now. Now look at them. So a lot of them can't even walk straight. Look at their countenance. But let's continue anyway. Spellbound. So they were trying to spellbound you, right? And that's called a loop, where you just feel like you're going around in circles. Spell, fascinated, entranced. So they were trying to entrance you. And they do this by women as well, right? Because a lot of the time, a witch she ain't necessarily ugly. A lot of witches actually look nice looking, right? Fascinated, charm. Spell, turn of period of work or activity, period of time. And this is why they were keeping tracking the time I would go in, come out, all of that. Because that's the only way they would keep a note of what I was doing and try to synchronize with me at that time. Okay? So this is what was happening, right? And this is what happens within society. People are under a spell. Okay, and I'm not done yet. We're going to let the scriptures come out. So let's go to this. Go to 2 Corinthians, Baba Kasha, and check this out. 11. I'm excited because the Lord reveals everything now. You can't, if you don't know what's coming at you, then you can't deal with it, right? It was a spell. Someone tried to put a spell on me, man, right? Let's go to 2 Corinthians 11. And I know it was that because I'm telling you, I wasn't feeling right. 2:11, right? 3. But I fear by less any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve, that serpent, and witches, remember that python spirit, which is the spirit of divination, right? Python, what does a python do? Squeezes, sucks the life out of his so-called victim, right? And yes, I did feel like that. Energy was depleted, tired, right? Oh yeah, they were using technology as well, right? They were doing that. Okay, but now the Lord Yahawashi. Now, do you know what Yahawashi is going to do to you now, right? You know what it's going to do to you. He's going to destroy you and your whole family, and your children of Belial, and your traffickers as well. Oh man, yeah, bro, they tried to put a spell on you, man. And it says, by a fearless any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through the subtlety. And I know you're listening, and I know you're listening as well, right? I know you're listening in your demonic apartment or whatever, your house, right? Okay, I know you're listening with your demonic children, right? And it says, as the serpent beguiled Eve through subtlety. Subtle. The serpent is subtle. He looks for ways, he looks for avenues, he looks for gateways, he looks for openings. That's the only way. So, yeah, they did manage to get some type of access because guess what? A little bit of fear came into me. I wasn't being diligent. I wasn't doing as much videos. I wasn't going out as much as I should be, right? And that's how I believe that gateway, they were able to do those things, right? That's why you always got to be diligent in this truth and put on the armor. And another thing I noticed, every time I would do a video, they would try to obstruct it. These were all signs of manipulation and witchcraft, right? They would try to make you feel like you shouldn't be doing a video. These are all signs, right? Okay. But even through his subtlety, your mind should not be corrupted through the simplicity that is in Mashiach. So there's examples. Look how Eve got beguiled. It was through suggestion, right? It was through suggestion. The serpent said, no. Did he say you shall not eat? Right? Did he say you shall not surely eat? Right? The devil said, if you shall surely eat, you would know good and evil. Eat of that fruit. So it was alluring. It was enticing. Witches do the same thing. Entice you. Right? Oh, this is beautiful. The Lord reveals things. See, when we pray, when we ask Yahawashi what it was, he reveals it. So much things have been happening. So much things have been happening. Oh no, they're still trying the same tactics today. And I want to let you know this as well. When I started to get back on travel, right? Traveling, I never forget this, bro. It was about 200, bro. I'm telling you. Probably about 200 people on the train or even more. The train was packed. Packed. Right? And you had a lot of people standing around me, sitting next to me. Right? And I knew these were witches and these were warlocks. But hold on a minute. These are everyday workers. These are your everyday people that go to work. So now you see society is filled with witches and warlocks. People in business suits, by the way. Yeah. And I'm getting on the train. I see people, panicking and so. Bro. People coughing. Right? The coughing is a demonic spirit. Right? Sometimes people, the coughing is a demonic spirit. It's an unclean spirit. So they're trying to send that your way. Right? And when I was on this train, again, didn't feel no way. I didn't feel fearful. Then I'll never forget when I got off, right? And I walked, I never forgot what the woman said. The woman said, it's not going to work forever. It's not going to, the thing ain't going to work forever. It's not going to last forever. I knew what she was talking about as soon as she said that. I knew what she was talking about. Bro, they tried to cast a spell. This ain't one person. It's not one person. But bro, it's groups of people on phones, right? Yeah, go on, please. Would you all put up a spell at the same time and maybe it will work? Bro, the men of the Lord have discernment. So there was something they were doing. And it was to stop you. What was it to do? To stop you from what? Teaching. To stop you from moving forward. Right? To stop you from moving forward. Then when you get on public transport, you even see it in these witches and warlocks. You see it in their eyes. They look shook up. Does it, bro? Over 100 witches and more. I'm telling you, from different towns, right? Getting on the train, trying to install fear, bro. It doesn't work. It works, but it only works for some time. Remember, witchcraft that's all temporal. It's temporal, right? That's why they need to keep doing the same thing again, right? Now, long story short, from then I keep going, traveling and so forth. Then I thought, we'll ease up. Then I noticed some more activity, right? I would just notice activity, right? And this activity would be occult activity. So now I would go to the park, right? Or the field or wherever, the wilderness. And I would notice the same pattern with people within your community. So they were in on it as well, right? All right. Then it got a step further now. Then I started noticing, where are all these Nigerians coming from, right? I've been in this area a little while now. Where are all these Nigerians coming from? So then I thought, oh, okay, now they've turned it up a notch now. Now they want to do voodoo. So, yeah, I was able to see these things, right? Then you see people looking at their watches and so forth. This is all witchcraft. Yeah, that much people getting together. It's not just one. I'm not likening it to one nation. That much people getting together to come up against you. Power, right? And by this time now, I'm getting better, slightly better. but there was still a lot of things going on. Definitely physical attacks in the spirit, physical attacks, you know, neck ache, backache, and so forth. And that's when I knew, yeah, something was definitely going on. Something was definitely going on. So people were trying to cast some type of spell, right? So by this time now, I'm in the scriptures, and just things start slightly getting better. But that wasn't it. Now they started to lose lights, right? They were using lights. There's a building across the road. They don't do it anymore. There was a building across the road, and they started shining these lights towards my house, right? So they started to use sensory tactics as well. These are all signs of black magic and witchcraft. Yes, right? It's called sensory lighting. The only reason you would use sharp sensory lighting is to change someone's perception. It's witch. I can't say it enough. It's witchcraft, right? This is why you have to stay girded in the power of Yahawashi, right? And I know it wasn't what they were doing. I know I was breaking it, because every time I would go out and I'll do a lesson, sometimes, bro, the screams that you would hear the screams you would hear. Sometimes I even heard, "Stop, please stop." Yeah. Even the demons fear and tremble at the name of Yahweh by Sham Yahawashi. Okay. Heavy stuff. I want to let the scriptures come out because I'm doing too much talking. And I know this lesson's all over the place, but I hope it's edifying to whoever needs to hear. Right? There's so much more. I was going into the stores. You would have these Nigerians, all types of people. Mostly, I'm talking about Nigerians now. Right? Coming into the stores, following you, looking at what you're buying. They're probably trying to put spells upon the food. That's why I was switching up the food as well. I'm telling you, the spiritual war, it was really getting heavy. Really getting heavy. Sometimes I would get up early, I would jump on the bus, and I would notice there would be a Nigerians that were already on the bus previous to me being there. So they were trying to do some type of spell work or voodoo. Oh yeah. All that was happening, but it never stopped me, because I was still teaching and I was still prevailing. And remember, when we prevail in the spirit of Yahawashi, they fell and they get punished by Satan. All these tactics, all these things, man. It shows you Yahawashi was always with us. He just needed us to tap into that source. Let these scriptures come out. That's why we got to be very, 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 very careful, right? And it got worse because I started watching certain videos from, what is it? What they call it? The so-called false enlightenment, New Age doctrine. That's when it really got worse. That's when it really, because it was there anyway, but that's when it really got worse. Why? Because the New Age, when you actually look up what New Age is, check who it goes back to. The Theosophical Society, right? Of Satanism, okay? So when you're watching things like that, videos of New Ages, bro, that deals with what? Satanism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, whatever you call it, right? So that's when the attack started to go up. Why? Because I think I may have just opened up a small passageway for the devil. Remember, the devil will look for any entry. And that's when the attacks, as soon as I've done that, I noticed the cars started to come past more, right? And when I would go out, I noticed the cars would be speeding past at all the same speed. That's how you know these people were synchronizing. It was all at the same speed, literally. Why? Witchcraft. And yeah, the evil spirits, by the way, evil spirits, right? So all these things were happening, right? And they still happen, but now I know how to combat it fully and where it's coming from. Okay, that's coming from witches, right? That network, it's a demonic network of people that are in cults, right? When the colors, told you about that before. I've noticed that before. The colors they wear and all that. Started already noticing that, right? All these are forms of witchcraft. The reason why they walk past you at a certain time, that's called bewitchment. They're trying to bewitch you, right? That's what it's called. But guess what happens to people with it? Oh yeah, and the honking of the sirens as well. Bro, that's called, it's a form of mind control. You know when they honk the sirens? But guess what? I got something. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? They want to honk the sirens. I got something for them. I bought this, I don't know, last week. It's not a siren, but it's a horn. Check it out, check it out. They want to honk the sirens, right? To basically, that's a psychological tactic to let you know, yeah, we're here. We're in the area. You know, bunch of witches. They're witches and warlocks. But I got a horn for them. This is what I do back to them. Hey, Satan, man, give it up. In the name of Yahweh by Sham Yahawashi, right? You've been defeated, right? Your little attempts of witchcraft, they're vain. Vain. That's all we can give you. It's a perception, right? Of that Yahawashi in control. And when you don't think Yahawashi is in control, then you're going to give all that power to Satan. They want you to give your power and energy to them. Yeah, they can do little things here and there, but you got to understand the power that we have. Because if it takes 100 and 200, which I'm telling you, I've seen it. Sometimes it's more than that. Depending on where you go. That much people to come up and get one person. You must have a strong anointing like Elijah. You must. And that means it wasn't really working anyway, because then you wouldn't need that much people to try to do that type of thing. You see? Oh, man. Hey, this is, brothers, there's so much I want to reveal to you. So much. Right? And another thing as well, it's nothing to do with psychic ability. These are technologies that these people have, right? So now they've given these witches and warlocks technology. And you know when you may go into a certain store, they would tell people to press the beeper. And when you come in, it will start beeping. That signals to other people that you're in the store. So they're even doing it in the stores you go into. I know it's bad, isn't it? This is your society. These are the so-called loving people that wouldn't hurt a fly. No, they're not. You see? Right? Go to 1 Timothy 4. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits. And seducing spirits is anything that's not of the scriptures. New Age, that's a heavy seducing spirit. This deals with them chakra teachings, raise your vibration, and you can manifest the law of attraction. That's false light. That's a false light. The law of attraction, you could be a millionaire in 2 days and you can levitate. That's a false light. It's an evil spirit. That's why it says, and giving heed to seducing spirits. These are heavy spirits. Seduce means to allow. It's a spell. And I did pray to Yahawashi. I'm sorry, Yahawashi, please forgive me. I was watching them videos. Now, nothing's wrong with watching a video in terms of people that were delivered from New Age and so forth. But when you're actually watching these videos, you got to be careful. Because the New Ages are practitioners of Satanism. They worship demons, idols. It's idolatry. Which the New Age, it deals with the occult. Now, I always say, now you wonder, because I did notice this as well, a lot of occult members. And they give themselves away by the tattoos that they have. Tattoos and their dress codes. Right? Because they dress a certain way as well. Then I realized, hold on a minute. The links are there between New Age and occultism. It's pretty much the same thing. So I started to see these things. I started to see it. And doctrines of devils, because it's a seducing spirit. It's an alluring spirit. It's a charming spirit. They tell you things that sound good. And doctrines of devils. Doctrines. Not a doctrine. Doctrines. All come together. Love everyone. And then, yeah, you had, bro, it's spiritual. And then, remember, I was in a low point. You got to remember, this is about a year and a half, or probably a bit longer. I was in a low space. I felt like I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. Nothing. So the moment I start getting up and moving now, I start to see the people around me change. This is how you can know and identify who was involved as well. Okay. Then I started saying, actually I started to notice, right, certain neighbors, some Indian woman I've never saw. I don't even think she lives in the area. She started to go to some neighbors across the road, some Indian neighbors across the road, and complain about me. Complain about me. So there was a whole load of witchcraft going on, right? A whole load of things, right? Then you have these people, neighbors, going into these apartments. Yeah, I saw what they were doing. They were going into these buildings, right? And bro, God knows what they're doing in there. The Heavenly Father knows, right? Probably got tarot cards, probably got burning candles and the sage, and probably got skulls in there, right? Probably doing blood rituals and all that, right? Going in and out of this building. They were doing all types of madness. But I was putting up them prayers and I would notice these people were walking a certain way, they had their head down and they were being punished. Why? Because I was praying against it. As long as you're in these words, and you're faithful to Yahawashi, even though you may slip, you're good. Right? Remember, they get punished for doing evil to us. They get punished. Right? And doctrines of devil, so that's where we don't want to be. Okay? Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. Their conscience is seared. Nothing can get in, nothing can get out. Right? So we went to that. I have to give this testimony. I would go on longer, but I need to save some data. And it hasn't came out completely smooth, but that way, this has been spiritual. When you find out what people have been doing to you, and then they got the nerve to get mad at you. And now you find them out. Guess what they do now? Because now you find out what they were doing to you. Now all they can do is slam doors now, which is another form of witchcraft. That's another form of witchcraft, right? To try and install fear, right? Well, maybe if I slam the car door, he will, that will stop him from teaching and having faith. No, it won't. That just shows you're emotionally what's the word? There's a word for it. There's a word for it. Emotional intelligence. Your emotional intelligence is at an all-time low. If you need to do that, these are all signs of witchcraft, man. I'm talking about people in your community doing this. When the week comes, just when he's sleeping, slam the door and maybe that will show him. No. Because the more you do that, the more I'm just gonna put prayers up and you're gonna get punished. It's what these people don't understand. This is what these people don't understand. Alright? Let's go to this, Baba Kishar. Proverbs 5. My son, attend unto my wisdom and bow down ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion and that their lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb and her mouth is smoother than oil. Alright, and that's another thing as well. When I was teaching, remember, getting my power back now. I was in a low state. I was in a sunken state. Bro, sunken. So getting the power back now. I'm moving. I'm going different places now. Hitting the highways and byways more as well. Right? Then I noticed I'm starting to get the confidence was back where it should be. My faith is back where my boldness is back where it should be. Then I notice now, right? It's still like this. It's still like this. When I'm teaching now, people were getting sent to me. And these were witches, these were warlocks, and they would try to say certain things, right? Then walk off. They would try to drop a negative word upon me, or they would try to say, yeah, look after you, take care of yourself. And you know what I would say? Well, you know what? Yahawashi takes care of me. So they would try to drop a word on you and leave. It still falls in the category of spells and witchcraft. Because remember, there's words, power of, what's it? Proverbs. Power of life and death are in the power of the tongue. So they do a lot of that as well. They try to talk things into your life and try to make you believe it. And if you believe it, then it will have power over you. So anything they're saying, right, these people are saying concerning our lives, don't believe it. Don't accept it. Because they need you to accept it. right? And once you accept it, that's when they can start doing whatever they're doing, and it comes into force, right? Because it's about your perception. It's about your mind. They want your mind. They want your soul, right? That's what they want. Okay. So let's continue. But they may as regard discretion, and the lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as the honeycomb, right? See, bro, I just heard one of their. I swear, I just heard one of their children talking shit. Yeah, bro, they even get their children involved in this as well. I told you, remember these are cult members, right? Cult members. And they also initiate children into this rubbish as well, right? And it says, for the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. It's all right. Soon, bro. Soon you're gonna need to run. Soon you're gonna need to get out of here. you're gonna need to get out of here real soon. You know, because them prayers, bro. I'm praying without ceasing. Bro, I've seen people get judged. We could talk about that as well. The judgments as well, right? For the lips of a strange woman drop as honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. Right? It says strange woman. Strange woman, right? Them philosophies of other nations. And it says honeycomb. Honeycomb tastes nice. Right? So be careful as well that women that may come your way, be careful of that. Pretty woman, you know, speaking about certain things, charming. That's going to be sent your way. Okay? But her end is as bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell, lest they should ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, right? They cannot know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Are you listening? Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, because she's wicked, right? Lest I give that honor unto others and the years unto the cruel. That's them different philosophies and them different nations, right? So this is real. What's actually going on, brothers? Oh, it's real. It's real. And this is just my little testimony that I have with everything that was going on, and how I knew it wasn't really working like that. Because sometimes I would, you know, I'll go store, I would come back and I would see the same witch that when I would leave, like previous another day when I would leave my house, right? Or the premises, it's not my house, the premises. I would see immediately when I would leave, you would have these witches and warlocks heading towards the premises because they were probably trying to curse my house, the household as well. And that's why, yeah, you pray over your household. You anoint your household, right? Oh, yeah, they were doing that as well. Right, they still do it from time to time, but not as much. They circle the house, right? They do it from time to time, right? Lately it's been Indians, a lot of Indians that have been doing it, right? Trying to do the black magic and all that, and Nigerians as well. So it's still happening, but it just doesn't have no effect because I'm not giving them my energy. I'm not giving them nothing. I'm not feeding into it. Right, but yeah, certain things are still there. It's amped up. Like, there's so many things I could tell you. I told you about the flies, right? There was flies everywhere, and these weren't ordinary flies. These were witchcraft flies, right? And what else was there? There's just a lot of things going on. Oh yeah, they were doing that as last summer. They were gathering leaves as well. They were going into the forest. They were gathering these leaves, right? And they were trying to put these leaves. They would put curses upon these leaves. And they would try to leave it outside your premises or your doorstep, or they were doing all them type of on a pathway. There were fluids at my back gate or the back fence. Some little gremlin, right? Pouring fluids. They do that. They use fluids. They use candles and hexes. And come on, these are carnal people. Now, what do you think the Messiah is going to do to people like that? What do you think he's going to do? Right? These are all the things that brothers have been going through, right? They beat the drums, right? The voodoo drums, do 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 do, useless, do 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 do. Oh, I'm laughing at these things. The face paint, right? I've seen the white face paint. I've seen all that, bro. These people get punished in the spirit, man. They get taught a lesson by Yahawashi, Yahawashi. right? What else have I seen? Oh, there's so much because it's still a battle. These things are still going on. See what else we can find. See what else we can find. Oh, let's go to Isaiah. Right? But it was really going on. Oh, you nearly had me there. You nearly had me. Right? Nearly gathered, bro. There's times, there's time limits as well. At 7, 6 o'clock after work, they're phoning each other, right? To walk past your premises and to curse it and to curse it. That's where you got to pray for you, your family, anyone that's next to you. You pray over them as well. They're covered, right? These are negative demonic spirits that these people are operating in. Right? Go to Isaiah 47. Come on, let's go. Okay. And 9. But these two things shall come to thee in one moment, in one day, the loss of children, widowhoods. They shall come upon thee in a perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries. Multitude. And for the great abundance of thine enchantments. What I've seen, bro, it's a great abundance of it. It's a great abundance. This beginning with Babylon, America. Right? Because Babylon, the ancient Babylon, was known for what? Witchcraft. All the customs that are followed today for every nation, that stems from Babylon. That's why they call it Babylon Mystery School. Right? And Babylon is known as America today. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Bro, you can't trust in wickedness and expect to get off scot-free. You trust in wickedness. Wickedness has an expiry date. Right? That has said, none seeth me. When these people do what they're doing, they think nobody sees them. They think they can hide in the building. Right? And do their little enchantments. Do their little spell work. They think, and oh, another thing, device. They use devices as well. I've done videos on that. It's a what's it? A modulator. And you do know you could get a mic, right? And broadcast a mic. There's another word for it. I forgot what it is. But they have devices as well. They can speak through. And they could be 100 meters away. But it can sound like they're right next. It's a device. Oh, that's it. Acoustic. It's an acoustic device. So you have little gremlins, right? Little gremlins, they speak through this acoustic device, right? And that's to get you to think, maybe I can hear voices. Yeah, it's demons. It is demons. It's demons speaking through that device. That's what it is. Physical demons, right? But that are being used by the spiritual demon Satan. Because it's spiritual warfare. And this is what this lesson really goes down to. What is it? Spiritual warfare. We're not supposed to be scared of these things, right? You have certain families that do these things as well because they're just pieces of shit, right? They're demonically possessed, innit? Because anyone in their right mind wouldn't have time to do that. Right? Wouldn't have no time to do that. Oh, let me see if I can speak through this device and see if I can communicate with him, right? Well, guess what you do? If someone's speaking through a device to communicate with you, what do? Right? You connect with them through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, and you let them know, you on the side, you on the other end of that device, that acoustic device that's speaking. You do know Yahawashi is going to judge you. You know he's watching you, right? When you're doing that, right? You know he's going to break that, right? Right? And he's going to destroy you, right? And your device. So yeah, you can communicate. There's things you can do. Remember, it's broadcasting. They're broadcasting to you, right? There's so many elements to this, but I can't bring it out all in this one lesson. But that's what they're doing. And they're trying to broadcast your thoughts as well. So there was a lot of things I was noticing. Because remember, they put all types of equipment around your house and the EMF. Yeah, they were trying to broadcast your thoughts because there's a Stingray truck that would go past every what? It used to be 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And that gathers information. Right? It gathers information and they're able to broadcast certain thoughts and share that with other people as well. Right? I'm just telling you how this, bro, it's called witchcraft. That's what it's called. More so spiritual warfare. Right? Then you got people when you're sleeping, right? Get up! Get up now! Right? Fucking demonic fuck, man. Lord's gonna destroy your wicked ass. Why are you concerned if someone gets up? I'm talking about 6 o'clock in the morning. And someone, get up now! Bro, it's witchcraft. You gotta cut that. You gotta sever that demon. That's people, bro. That's people that are trying to control you. Because when you have the authority of Yahawashi, you're uncontrollable by society. It's not that you're. When people think of uncontrollable, they think, well, he must be a a problem child or whatever they want to call it. No, just that you're not controlled by demons anymore. That's the thing. Okay, that's it. Okay. Let's get this. Isaiah 47, right? And 13, right? It says, Babu Kasha, check this out. That are weary in the multitude of their counsels. You're getting weary now. I'm even seeing it. Right? You're getting weary now. In the multitude. Yeah, they have counsels as well. I've even seen that. I never used to notice that. You know, when you start a lesson, you see these people running to their handlers. This person running. You see one person on the phone. You see another person on the headphones. You see another person standing somewhere else. These are networks of people that are getting desperate. Because the devil knows he has a short time. Right? Stand now with thy enchantment, with the multitude of thy sorceries, when thou hast laboured from thy youth, if so be thou mayest profit, if thou mayest prevail. That are weary in the multitude of thy counsel. You're getting weary now. Right? Because the things that once worked, because remember, every town you have a warlock, you have a witch that puts a spell on that town, which has people under enchantment. Right? So it says they're wearied now, right? They don't know what to do. Because remember, they get their ideas from the left-hand side. Basically, they have to report back to Satan. Satan tells them what to do. That are wearied in the multitude of their counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up, save thee. Stargazers. When you think of stargazers, who do you think of? Huh? You think of the New Age, right? And it says, and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee, but they're not going to save thee. Right? Oh, Satan's running out of ideas, I'm telling you. And he's known as the accuser of our brethren as well. That's another reason why they have to watch you. Right? Because if you're of the, say the elect, right? And they're watching the elect, you're going to be the ones to judge them. So they need to come with a counter case now. Why you're not worthy to judge them. No, if we're of the elect, yeah, we're going to judge you in the kingdom. Oh yeah. And it says Revelation 12, right? And you're bloody useless, right? These people they're literally useless. I don't even think they come out of the area. And the scriptures talk about a man that's travelled, knoweth many much things. Every time I return, it's like these people. The only time they come out of the area is to what to work, and you come back. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be scared. These people, they're in fear, so they try to install that fear in you. Damn witches and warlocks. The Lord's gonna get you for that. But everything you try to do to me and my family, the Lord's gonna get you tenfold. And speaking of that as well, the judgments, the things that I've seen happen. I've seen about six cars, right? Mangled and crashed. That's something to do with the gang stalking. You know, they drive around to rush to get here, to get to there, to try and set you up. 6 cars lately, I think, that have been mangled up. So that's judgment. And this is all through prayer as well. In terms of the birds, that's another thing I started to notice as well. When you step out into the wilderness or the fields, you would have some of these warlocks. Early out in the morning, when you leave there, be there, and you see them signaling to each other as well, right? Some of them walk their dogs, but remember them, dogs, birds, they use animals. And that was the monitoring spirit. So they were trying to monitor you as well and control you, right? And they're seeing what times you leave, what time you come back. They're seeing all of that, right? They try to synchronize with you. It's the occult. And a lot of crows, a lot of blackbirds. I've seen a lot of birds, about 4 or 5. them being mangled up, yeah, because we're putting up prayers. So them prayers, right, become effective, right? Really become effective. The birds, they were making a lot of noise, right? Remember, these people speak with birds as well, right? Because these animals can be channeled. They use these animals to channel messages. So these are warlocks, these are witches that have tried something on you. But if you're covered by you have that hedge, it's not going to get in. Remember, they look for an opening, they look for a gateway. You got to pray, not just over yourself, the people that are next to you, and over your household, for that hedge, and to remove them monitoring spirits, them demonic spirits. You got to pray for that. And anyone that's watching you with evil intent, anyone, that the Lord Yahawashi will deal with them accordingly, right? And you pray that Yahawashi blinds these monitoring spirits. Yeah, he blinds them, right? He plagues them. He makes them turn, right? That he confounds them. He blinds them, right? You got to pray for that. Because, yeah, it's for your own protection. What do you want to do? Well, you just want to let that happen. You have to pray. Because that's an act of faith. Scripture says pray without ceasing, right? If you know there's an individual or individuals monitoring your whereabouts, you pray against that spirit. And you have to be consistent. You have to pray. You have to fast. If it's not working, you have to fast, right? And pray that Yahawashi breaks that demonic altar, because they have altars as well, with your name on it, with your face on it. Yes, they have these things. What do you think when you're doing videos? If they can see your videos, what do you think they're doing with your videos? They're trying to curse it, right? These people, bro, they wish death spells. They do all of that. Sick spells, poverty spells, right? That you don't flourish. A lot of it is due to jealousy as well. You pray against that spirit in the name of Yahweh, Yahawashi. I bind every evil monitoring spirit that's trying to look in upon my life, that's trying to sabotage, that's trying to stop me, that's trying to hinder me. Yahawashi, cut it off, plague them in due time, chase them. Yahawashi, send the angel of the Lord Yahawashi to chase them. Plague their minds, right? Blind them, you please, Baba Kashai, you have blind them, right? Bring harm upon them, right? Okay, them and their children, because they get children involved in this rubbish as well, bro. I'm telling you, man, right? Because morality is just all-time low, right? It's assignment. You got to pray against demonic assignments in the name of Yahawashi, Baba Kashai, by the blood of Yahawashi. I bind every demonic assignment that's been any demonic assignment that's been assigned to my life to try and hinder me. In the name of Yahawashi, I break it. I bind it. You got to speak these words over your life. Speak these words over your life. Okay. Any demonic altar that's been dedicated to me. Any demonic altar that's been dedicated to me. In the name of Yahawashi, you counsel it. You burn it with fire. You rain fire upon that demonic altar. You burn it up. Right? Speak these things into existence. Because they're speaking things into existence. Wicked things concerning you. Concerning your life. Right? They're going into stores. They're going into shops. They're lying about you. So there's a way you combat that. It's through prayer, through faith. And you let Yahawashi, intervene. Okay? You break demonic altars. You counsel every meeting concerning you. Every evil meeting concerning you. You bind that in the name of Yahawashi. Every evil words that is anyone speaking against your name, you bind it. You break it. You give it no power over your life. In the name of Yahawashi, any evil word that's spoken against my life, it will have no power. Any evil word. It will have no influence. That's how we're supposed to operate in spiritual warfare. Not sit back and agree with it, agree with the enemy. I've got something just before we shut off. This is Ephesians 4:27, right? Neither give. Oh yeah, you know, I want to start at 26. Be angry and sin not. And a lot of the times you can tend to fall into this trap. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Remember, they want you to be angry. This is about a reaction. A witch needs a reaction. They need energy. They're like these people, these cult members, they're energy harvesters. They harvest. And that's not the only thing they're harvesting. They harvest souls as well. They're cult members, man. Right? They sacrifice people. They're cult members. They harvest energy. They harvest blood. Right? And it says, be angry and sin not, let not your sun go down upon the wrath. So don't do something that you regret. Neither give place to the devil. So you have demonic people, right, doing demonic things. You don't give place to it. You don't entertain it. Then the devil will have no choice but to flee. Yeah, they're going to have to get in the car and flee. Right? Get in that car and flee. Right? Because you're not entertaining it. Then they have to go to the weak prey. Because the scripture says the devil goeth about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. But once the devil sees he can't devour you, he's going to need to move on. Go somewhere else. Right? Stay in these scriptures. Right? Okay? And recognize that power you have in Yahawashi. Recognize that power. Because we do have it. Right? So with this, I hope this was edifying. I don't know, there's much more I could have bring out in this because so much things have been happening concerning, but this is my testimony, man. Heavy stuff. And this, it's not even all of it. Right? I don't know if I do a part 2. I might, I don't know, some other time. I don't usually do testimonies because I'm not too big on testimonies, but sometimes it's needed to let brothers and sisters know whatever you're going through, you're not alone. You are not alone. And the reason why these things happen, because you could be in high rank in the spirit. You may be of a high rank in the spirit for the kingdom of light. That's why these things happen. That's why these things happen, right? And because you may have a blessing that someone's trying to stop. There's a type of blessing, something good that's going to happen, and someone's trying to stop it. People are trying to stop it. So there's various different reasons why these things happen. But all around it's what? Spiritual warfare. Okay? And we just need to stay prayed up, keep our eyes single on Yahawashi, and he's going to take care of everything else. Okay? Everything else. Okay? And I'm just thinking, is there anything? That's pretty much it. Right? It's pretty much it. And these devices as well. Be wise with the devices. Be wise who you're connecting with, what you're saying, and so forth. Because again, they can hack into that and they try to communicate with you via connection as well. But it's nothing really to worry about as long as you stay prayed up, you know. So I'm gonna shut off here. Lord, when this was edifying, and until the next time, shalom.